What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Post-Match Panic, where two new fans are talking wrestling.
We're watching wrestling with zero nostalgia goggles.
So if you're here for the deep lore and 20 years of insider knowledge, that's not us.
We're going to give you our hot takes, our reactions, and our predictions.
Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. We are here talking Monday Night Raw for January 26th, 2026. And we are continuing our Canadian tour for the week before Royal Rumble in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We started the show off with our boy AJ Styles coming into the ring, getting everybody hyped up. You know, he left Saturday night's main event with some momentum against Shinsuke, gearing up for his big match against Gunther this weekend. Big Royal Rumble match, putting his career on the line. What are your thoughts on that whole situation, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, AJ goes out there and his mom hair is flowing, and he says he's not going to lose to Gunther.
Nope.
And he wants a little jewelry added to his personal collection before he leaves.
Yeah, he says he wants to be world champion one more time. And right on cue, who comes out of the back but our boy CM Punk.
That's right.
To my knowledge, I don't think these two have fought in WWE together. I haven't seen them, but I don't know if they have any history at all outside of the organization. But Punk comes out. They seem pretty friendly to each other. He questions AJ's decision, just like a lot of people have, to put his career on the line.
Yep.
And, AJ takes offense to that a little bit, basically insinuating that Punk thinks he can't beat Gunther.
Yeah.
So, that's...
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think there's a prevailing thought that, like, why put your career on the line and potentially lose? But AJ's pretty confident that he's going to beat Gunther.
Yeah, and I think he has the right to be. He technically did beat him before. It was just the ref was out of position to see the tap out. So, Punk says to AJ that it's like, hey, if you lose and you have to end your career, then we can never fight. And after the crowd kind of caught on a little bit, the two guys started looking around. They're like, well, let's fight tonight. So if AJ put the stipulation out there that if he beats Punk tonight and beats Gunther on Saturday, that he becomes the number one contender for that World Heavyweight Championship belt right there. And Punk's like, no, screw it. Let's just put the belt on the line tonight. And that's how we end the segment. The crowd goes nuts. And we find out that Adam... Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was the right move by Punk to sit back and say, I'm a working champ, man. I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to fight you without putting this sucker on the line. And I mean, that's bold. And I think it's the right move. Good for CM Punk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good. We found out Adam Pearce made it official. That is the main event for the night. And that was a good thing to look forward to starting off the show. I think everyone was for it. The crowd loved it. So, we'll talk about that one later on tonight. But we did start our first match with Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer in a 6-woman tag match. So, we're on record saying that this last Saturday, 4 of these women stole the show. The 4 being Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. They stole the show in that big tag match last Saturday night's main event. Going into this, I was wondering if the addition of Raquel and Stephanie would ruin that chemistry. I don't know. To me, it kind of did. It didn't really. Yeah,
no, I think it definitely did. It definitely messed whatever happened on Saturday night's main event. It was not the same vibe, and I don't know if that's Raquel's fault. I don't know if that's Stephanie's fault. I'm not even sure why the 6 of them were fighting in the first place.
Well, I think it was because during that tag match at Saturday night's main event, it was 2 members of the Judgment Day versus Rhea and Io, and then the 3rd member of Judgment Day comes out to help interfere. And then with Raquel and Stephanie's history, they've been building up to, Stephanie came out and had her pound of flesh. So
Yeah.
Why not just get all 6 of them in a ring? I don't know.
I think I would have rather had Raquel and Stephanie fight.
Yeah.
Like, I would have rather seen that tonight because that was a natural progression from Saturday night's main event. They look tired. That's what I noticed. And I don't know if you noticed the same thing, but the girls were moving slow because I'm like, they just beat the shit out of each other on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here they are, fighting again. And now they got 2 other people. And I don't know. To me, it was an interesting booking because I think I would have rather enjoyed Raquel and Stephanie fighting. But I'm sure there's a reason. I'm not an expert in any of this, but instead of it being the highlight of the show like it was at Saturday night, it was like one of the worst matches to me in this Monday Night Raw slot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was one of the weaker matches, unfortunately. It could be a mixture of just the chemistry between, Raquel and Stephanie, adding that in there doesn't work as well with the 4 of them, or it could just be, yeah, you're right. They just fought on Saturday, 2 days ago. They just had a big match. They could be tired. I know how I feel after 2 days after the gym. Like, it sucks. And they work harder than I do, so.
Yes.
I don't know.
You've seen Stephanie's workout routine when what is it, Sheamus goes in and does all that stuff. You're like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. But throughout the match there were some good moves. Liv snuck under the ring to prevent a tag attempt. That was kind of sneaky, and Judgment Day is always doing sneaky stuff. You're pulling up the apron to rake the eyes as the ref's fixing it, that kind of thing. But towards the end, I think as it was getting out of hand, you had the tornado DDT by Liv to Mommy. You had Stephanie off the top rope to the outside, Oblivion by Liv being blocked by Rhea, Io drop kicking Liv, Roxanne grabbing Rhea for Liv to hit with a code breaker, which got blocked into Rhea's riptide, to Roxanne for the win. Rhea ends up pinning Roxanne to secure that victory for the 3 of them. So,
great.
Yeah, it was a match. It was not as good as Saturday Night Main Event, but eventful towards the end. There were some sloppiness happening here and there. Like we were saying, they did look a little bit tired. But we'll see where this goes. I think we see later on in the show that Raquel and Stephanie do get their match, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But that was it for this match.
Yeah.
Next segment, we had the Vision in the ring. Usually we talk about our segments later, but this led up right directly to the next match, so we'll talk about this a little bit. So we have the Vision, Braun Breaker included, coming back into the ring after the issues that he's been having with Adam Pearce. I will say, Paul Heyman, there's a reason he's a Hall of Famer. That man is a genius on the mic. He's always fun to listen to, which is funny because when I first started watching WWE, he was Roman Reigns' wise man. And I was like, who the hell is this guy just carrying Roman's belt, just staring at him with his hands like, who is this dude? I knew nothing about him, and he was just annoying at the beginning. But the more I watched him and the more I saw his story come out and watched his history, the more I fell in love with Paul Heyman. So
yeah,
love it.
Paul's great.
He's great.
I think he is a real gem for the company, and yeah, I think they could do more with him outside of the Vision. I'd be interested in to see what else he could do, because at this point, since I started watching WWE last WrestleMania, he has only worked with the Vision, and so it's getting a little stale. I'll just be honest with you. That's my hot take on that one. The Vision's getting a little stale.
Yeah, because when you started watching, he was in CM Punk's corner.
Yeah.
And then they had that whole thing where he turned on Punk and then turned on Roman and then ended up being Seth's man. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was really interesting to kind of see. That was my first intro into Paul Heyman, was, him turning his back on not only CM Punk, his best friend, but then also Roman Reigns and joining with Seth Rollins. And so that was really cool. And I was like, this is awesome. I love this. Yeah. But now I'm sitting back here wondering what's the vision for the Vision, because I'm not seeing it currently.
Yeah. In the ring, Heyman throws up the video clips of Adam Pearce putting his hands on Braun Breaker first. Throwing that evidence up on the screen is great. Saying that Pearce planted the brass knuckles for Rey Mysterio last week. So, hey, is Adam Pearce really in cahoots against the Vision? Who was on the other side of that phone call? Who knows? But we do get Pearce coming out admitting that he was at fault, and he does apologize. So whoever was on the phone definitely seems to have gotten to our general manager. So,
and I feel like that was a big part of this storyline, and we'll also probably never find out who that person was. I just have a feeling we'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know. The only person above Pierce, I think, at this point is, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the final boss. But I don't think he's going to be showing up this year. He was featured heavily the last 2 WrestleManias. I don't know if he's going to be coming back this year. So
yeah.
But Braun Breaker's suspension does get lifted and is officially in the Royal Rumble. And then Adam Pearce goes on to say that all of the Vision is in the Royal Rumble. So a little bit of sneakiness by him, maybe, that they have to go against each other.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's Pierce's way of, getting around whatever hand slap he received from whoever, and having the entire Vision be in the Rumble drives a wedge. And I think Corey had said that something along those lines, that clearly Adam's trying to drive a wedge between the members of the Vision, and I'm here for it. Yep. Let's do it. Let's see,
I want to see it.
Them all get in each other's faces. And we'll talk more about that segment here in a little bit. But yeah.
Vision seems to have a plan, we find out later on in the show. But this leads into a redemption match for Austin Theory to go against Rey Mysterio, sans brass knuckles. So we lead right directly into that match. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Penta walk out. And that match starts. So, yeah, this feud started a few weeks back. It's good. I mean, we've given our thoughts on the Vision. Vision is the Vision. They're kind of doing their thing. I mean, I don't think they're as scary as they could be, as dominant as they could be.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that Seth Rollins isn't here really messed with their storyline and their plans for them. So, once Seth is done.
I think one of the things that I'm noticing too is, obviously, like a heel faction like the Vision, there's going to be shenanigans, but it seems like there's nobody in the Vision can seem to win anything without the Vision interfering with the match. And I think that makes the heel version of the faction seem unrealistic and not interesting to me. Because I'm like, I want to see them dominate. If they're so good, if they're so great, they should be able to dominate whoever, and not be, needing everybody else from the faction to interrupt their match. And so that happened tonight with Austin Theory. He won, but the Vision still interfered. And then Rey Mysterio got actually hurt. You saw the X's get thrown up by the ref, And so I'm just like, come on, guys. Can the Vision do anything without each other? Do they have to have each other? To me, they're all just kind of weak heels.
Yeah. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, I think, are the 2 strongest out of that faction. I've said that since they were the first ones that Seth recruited. I think they would be dominant together as a tag team and running the tag team division. I think it'd be great. But who knows? I genuinely think that Seth getting hurt ruined a lot of the plans they had for the Vision. And hopefully, once Seth is done doing guest spots on First Take, he'll come back and get whip these guys into shape. So,
yeah, he really likes talking football,
dude. Yeah. That super spear after the match, though, by Braun, running those ropes, that 23-mile-an-hour super spear, laid Rey out, and he just got destroyed after that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Lots to talk about all of them being in the Rumble,
Yep.
We find out later on. We can talk about that now since that's kind of part of it. They did meet in the back. Logan basically said that Braun should be the one to win out of the 4 of them. Everyone seemed to agree. We'll see if that stands on Saturday. But
Yeah.
could this be the fraction of the Vision?
Yeah, please. Break apart, Vision. That's my prediction. They all beat each other up, and Braun doesn't win. And Logan Paul throws Braun over the ropes out of frustration because he's the true superstar of the Vision, and their egos inflate so big that they can't handle each other anymore. There's no more space, and the Rumble is where it all implodes. Please, creative, do it.
Let's see it. Let's see it. It'll be fun either way. I'm really looking forward to the Rumble on Saturday. I think there's a lot of storylines that are going to happen there. So, our next match, a Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders tag team match. So we had Otis and Akira Tozawa representing Alpha Academy versus Ryo and Bravo Americano versus Julius and Brutus Creed versus the New Day. Jay came down on the ring to ringside to watch. Sans Jimmy. I'm guessing it's baby time over there for Jimmy.
It's got to be baby time.
Yeah, he's got to be on that leave. That's what I put
in my notes.
Yeah, same thing. He's been gone for a few weeks. You know, Jay called out Jimmy and Naomi last week when he was doing his little promo. So hopefully everything's good there. And we see Jimmy come back as the proud papa here pretty soon. So he's going to have to fight the number 1 contender here at some point. So we'll see it.
Yep.
Otis and Tozawa. Go ahead.
Dude, yeah, I mean, this match was really interesting to me because I feel like the New Day, I haven't seen much going on there, you know, and I feel like Grayson Wallen joined that crew, and they just kind of seem like a back burner team right now. And I'll be honest with you, when they announced the American Made, I don't think I've ever seen them wrestle once since I started watching. Yeah. And then I don't think I've ever seen Alpha Academy wrestle once since I started watching. So this is really cool for me because I get to finally see some different characters get into a ring. Like I was in my notes, I'm like, I don't even know who the Creed brothers are. Like I see it finally in your notes, Julius and Brutus. Okay, great. I didn't know what their names were.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's great. And obviously Otis and Tozawa, you see a lot of them in just random segments or you know, Joe Hendry moments during Christmas time. That's about it.
Oh, it's such a fun match. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think a lot of these teams have not fought for the past year. I know the Brutus or the Creed brothers were kind of sidelined once Chad Gable got injured because he was the leader of American Made. I think all of American Made got sidelined when that happened. So and Otis and Tozawa, they were the guys that just went out and just kind of lost for a while. They had a big storyline with Chad back in the day when Chad was the leader of Alpha Academy. So and I finally figured out before Corey Graves said it in the match how to tell which Americano was which. So Ryo is the one in red. So Ryo, red, RR, and then Bravo in blue.
Got it.
As they were coming in, I was like, oh, I figured it out. And then Corey said it like 2 minutes later. I was like, oh, okay. I figured it out before him, though.
But my favorite part of the Americano line is when Corey was like, El Grande Americano is such a popular guy. He doesn't have to be here tonight. Yeah.
He doesn't have to be here, and he doesn't disclose his travel plans for security reasons. Like
I think for a while last year, I wasn't sure what the plan was with El Grande Americano, and now I'm like, I don't even care. Like he's just this mythical figure in WWE, and now he's got his own little Americano bros, and a part of me wants to dress up as El Grande Americano for Halloween this year, Brian.
Yeah, why not? No one can say that you're not El Grande Americano. I mean,
because I am the real El Grande Americano.
You heard it here first. Breaking news. It's not Chad Gable. It's not Ludwig Kaiser. It's Jesse. Okay, EO. I think New Day needs to be around more. Anytime they're in, like, since their heel turn, they kind of turned heel, wreaked havoc for a little bit, and then left. I want to see more of them. I don't necessarily need to see Grayson Waller as part of that group, but give me more Kofi and Xavier. Let's see it. I love it.
Yep. Sign me up.
Yeah, good match. The Creed brothers definitely give me big Hank and Tank vibes for any NXT fans. They're very similar in their builds and in their mannerisms too, but it's very, very fun to watch. I like those guys have been a good time anytime I see them. But Tozawa, man, he was just kind of the punching bag throughout the entire match until the end.
Yeah, and it was cool to see him because, like I said, I'd never seen him wrestle, and so obviously he's not a super tall guy, and but the juxtaposition between Otis and Tozawa is hilarious to me. Yeah. And to kind of see Tozawa, like, I don't know, enter the dragon and just go nuts. I don't know, man. It was great.
Yeah, he got them crazy eyes going, and then, dude, when he turns on, he just turns on, dude. He just lays everybody out. He had his own little Windmill of Doom session happening, and then we thought he was out, and then Otis gets in his face, tags him in for the final shot, and you could just see the energy just build up. He went so Super Saiyan, and gets that top rope. Gets up on that top rope, and then the height on that senton. Yeah. Like, he got Javon level bouncy.
Yeah,
and then got the pin to be the number one contenders, and had their little handshake moment with Jay after the match. And yeah, they're locked in. They're ready for that gold, man.
Dude, they are, and I think watching Tozawa just Hulkamania rip his shirt. I don't know if that's typically a part of his move set, but I love it so much.
Yeah. It was originally an Otis thing because he would always do that, and then when he took Tozawa under his wing, he was like, "You got to unleash the beast, man," and that's when he started doing that. It was great.
Does Otis do that with his slinglet or whatever you guys call that?
Well, the singlet.
Slinglet?
Yeah. No, because he usually has his shirt on over the singlet. And then,
okay.
So, yeah.
Because I feel like my eyes are being assaulted, when I'm looking at Otis in the ring with his singlet.
Don't dog on my man Otis.
Do his little belly rub dance.
Oh, dude, that's what he does. I love his belly dance. I love his caterpillar. I love his thrust. Like, Otis is the man. I love him.
He seems like a good time at the party. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I've seen pictures of him. Like, I think he was at Chelsea Green's wedding recently, and he just the life of the party. He was just going nuts, dude. It's fun.
Good times.
All right, our main event for the night, teased earlier, CM Punk versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. This came about in the opening segment. Like I said, I've never seen these two fight before, but I was excited to see it happen.
Yeah, and I think, it started off pretty slow to me.
Yep, very methodical.
And, yeah, very methodical. And it just, for a while there, it was like, there's just two bunch of old guys fighting. Mm-hmm. There's just two old farts going at it in the ring. And I know we've talked about it at length before, but I love watching CM Punk get his ass kicked. And just the resilience in that man. He just looks tired all the time. It looks like he's about to go take a nap. He could use a nap. He's ready to go sleepies. You know what I mean? He just needs a couple Z's and he might be okay. But it's week in and week out at this point. And I think a part of me thinks he loves it. And that's the way he wants it.
It reminds me of an old Simpsons episode where Homer starts to get into the boxing ring and he's just so good at taking punches that he tires everybody out, and then he just one hit KOs everybody. It's kind of, I get that always reminds me of whenever I see Punk fight, but it's fun.
Yeah. And I think there's multiple times in that match where you could tell, at least, I don't know if it was planned. I don't know. I'm not sure how these are all planned out exactly, but
they're not planned. It's all real.
It's all real. AJ could have easily taken Punk out a few different times, and vice versa. I think there's a handful of times where Punk could have taken AJ out and finished it up, but they just kind of kept it going, and I thought that was really interesting. All the way to the point where we get the interruption.
Yeah, well, after that ramp up at the end, there was a lot of really good, last second kickouts, big, blocked finishers and everything. And just as CM Punk was getting ready to do his big GTS in the corner, what happens? We get a missile drop kick from Finn Balor,
Bro.
who, dude. So, yeah, that just
I
looked
think
like
we have to talk about that segment
Yeah.
that happened before that at this point, right? Because
Yeah.
Liv kind of manipulating Finn in the back.
Yep.
A part of me thought like that's not going to work. Finn's going to bounce on the Judgment Day, and the fact that that conversation led to Finn not. I don't know if he's still not going to leave or not the Judgment Day, but he's definitely not turning face anytime soon, it seems like.
No. So that segment started earlier on in the night when Finn went over to CM Punk and basically thanked him for one of the most memorable nights in his career last week. Even though he lost, Punk gave him the respect in his hometown, and that felt good to Finn. So he just wanted to make sure that Punk got that thank you, and Punk told Finn that, hey man, maybe it's time to dump the Judgment Day. You don't need to be around trash like Dominic Mysterio. Go out on your own. You can be championship material, and I want to fight the best, and work your way up and do it. And so Finn tries to do it. He tries to go to Pierce and declares for the Rumble, but Pierce says, hey man, it's full. You got your shot last week, and I had to fill it. So sorry, like that just is what it is. And I think that combined with what you were talking about, Liv confronting Finn about leaving, that is kind of what set him off. He's like, all right, screw this. I got to go make my mark. So I'm going to go ahead and interrupt Punk in his match and make him notice me again, make him want to fight me again, and force Pierce to put me in a match with him again. So,
and I think it's the only thing that makes sense because, I mean, do you really want AJ losing again in another match?
Yeah.
No. Do you need, but you can't have him win with the title shot on the line. That doesn't work the week before Rumble. So it makes sense that Finn interrupts. But I do think, and tell me what your thoughts are on this too, Brian. I do think what happened with Punk and Finn the week prior is pushing Finn maybe faster than I think WWE anticipated. I think he put out such a good show. He performed so well. He popped so well with the crowd that I think it's forcing their hand to do something with him beyond being a goober in Judgment Day playing 2K in the back at the clubhouse.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's been out of the spotlight for so long. He hasn't even had a tag match. He hasn't had a singles match in a very long time. And so he, like you said, he's just been in the back, eating nuggies with Dom and playing 2K with JD. So,
Give me them nuggies.
People like Finn, and having him come back, especially in Ireland, that's going to light the fire under everybody to like, hey, maybe we need to get Finn. Like, let's get more Finn. I know that's what I said last week. I love it. Give me more.
Yes.
Yeah.
More. So I guess a part of me was happy that he interrupted that fight. And I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but I'm excited to see where this goes because I really am enjoying Finn as a solo singles guy right now. He doesn't need JD. He doesn't need Dom. He doesn't need Judgment Day. And so I'm curious if he's still going to break away. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he will eventually. He is the OG of Judgment Day, the last remaining OG member. The Judgment Day is not what it was back when it was him, Rhea, Damian, and Dominic back in the day when I started watching. So, maybe it is time for him to go. They're not the big family that they used to be. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's time for him to go out on his own, and let's bring Demon Finn back. I keep hearing good things about that. So.
Yeah.
All right, that was our card for the night. Some of the other segments that happened throughout the night that we didn't talk about already. We did have the Natalya-Becky feud promo. We had a video by Natalya saying she's going to go after Maxine and then go straight for the Intercontinental Championship is what it was insinuated. So we were correct in predicting that was going to happen. Later on, we did have Becky in an interview backstage with her alliteration names, calling everybody out. Mid Maxine, loser Lyra, like that got a good chuckle out of me. I like that.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, Becky's the greatest.
Becky's leaning in hard. I love it. It's good. I think what really got the biggest laugh out of me during that segment was when Kyrie came out and she's all getting hardcore. It's like, nobody's ready for Asuka. And then immediately she's like, I'm ready for Asuka. I've beaten her many times. Let's go. Like, I'm ready. So, 'cause that's the big thing. Nobody's ready for Asuka. I'm ready for Asuka.
I'm ready.
Good. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. And kind of go back to Natalya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Who?
Why is she here?
Yeah. She comes in like once a quarter.
Also, help me understand something, Brian. I do not understand how you get elected into the WWE Hall of Fame, but then years go by and you can get back and start wrestling and be a part of the show. I don't understand. I like the concept of every other sports like organization that sits back and says, you have not done this sport for 5 years. You are now eligible for the Hall of Fame. Because you're not going to come back. And I don't get it. If you are a part of the Hall of Fame, to me, it seems like you shouldn't be able to come back. So all these Hall of Famers that are still involved on a daily, weekly basis literally makes no sense to me. And to me, it cheapens the concept of a Hall of Fame. If your Hall of Fame people are still actively a part of the storylines, make it make sense.
What about Paul Heyman?
Same. The guy's still involved. He should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. All right.
Wait until he can't do it no more. What's the point of the Hall of Fame? What's the point?
I mean, true.
It seems like it's a Hall of we liked you, great job. That's the Hall. The Hall of we liked you, great job.
Yeah, I think there's only a handful that are technically Hall of Fame that are still doing stuff. I think Natalya, Paul Heyman, Rey Mysterio, and what's her name? Nikki Bella. Yep. Nikki Bella. So, yeah, I don't know.
How is she? She's not even like in her 50s. She's still in her 40s.
I know.
How do you get into Hall of Fame? I don't get it. Shoot, at this point, I can go join the WWE, get in the Hall of Fame, and start wrestling.
Yeah, why not? And then you become president.
I'll become president. I'll become head of creative, Brian. That's where I belong.
There you go. Dude, that's, okay, you hear that, H? We're coming for you.
You hear that? Let's go.
We did have another backstage segment with Raquel throughout the night. Raquel and Stephanie. After the tag match, Stephanie attacked Raquel as she was on her way to Pierce's office, and then Stephanie did go to Pierce demanding a fight, not a match. She wanted a fight. So Pierce gives her a Philadelphia street fight next week for the title against Raquel. So we're going to have weapons. We're going to have no DQ. It's going to be a brawl. So that'll be interesting. I mean, I'm not too sold on this rivalry. I'm not sold on how they've treated Stephanie since I think she rose too quickly from NXT coming in, and they just gave her the championship, and then she didn't do anything with it. So it's kind of the same thing we're going on with Jade right now.
Yeah, they're struggling with them championships on the women's side for sure, and they got to figure something. They got to figure something out because I don't think Raquel's doing it for me either.
Yeah, I
they're
think
finally doing some stuff with Jordan over on SmackDown, but there still wasn't much of a ramp, and all of a sudden she's like going to be the number one contender, like 2 weeks in to her existence on SmackDown. I don't know.
Hopefully we see something come out of this weekend and the road to WrestleMania continuing. Hopefully they rebuild some storylines because we're going to see people coming back during the Rumble, and the time between Rumble and Chamber, we're going to have storylines and we're going to have feuds happen. I'm guessing Bianca is going to come back at the Rumble. I'm almost positive Tiffy's coming back at the Rumble. So we're going to see some of those old rivalries, renewed.
Yeah, let's see it. We need something fresh to happen here.
Yep.
For sure.
And then, speaking of Rumble, one of the big matches happening is the AJ Styles Gunther fight. So we did get an interview with Michael Cole and Gunther. Got to see kind of the mindset on Gunther, as why he's doing what he's doing, why he made the stipulation. Because without it, what does Gunther have to gain? Were his words. If AJ's career's on the line, it's another notch on my belt that I retired another person. So, he's tired of these old timers sticking around. He just wants the spotlight on him. He says it's his time, and then he just says, "Speaking of old timers, Cole, you are an old timer. How much time do you have left? I could end your career right now too." And you could just see Michael Cole squirming in his seat, and Pat McAfee watched that somewhere, and he's like, "Oh, you're talking about my boy again. Let's go." But
do you think Pat Mac's going to come out and do some ish at Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I mean, college football season's over. That's usually when we see Pat come back and do some WWE stuff. But a lot of the fans aren't keen on old Pat McAfee. I'm a fan of him. I like him, but
he's hit or miss for me. I either like him or I don't. And I really think my favorite's Corey. Color commentary from Corey is my favorite.
Yeah, you haven't seen much of Vic Joseph, who is the big announcer down in NXT. I really like him. I think he would do great on the main stage, but I think he's down there with Booker T. He's a younger guy too, so I know Michael Cole is the head of a lot of those announcer teams, and he's really working with them. So yeah, it'll be cool to see how that goes.
Could be crazy.
And then we had more Oba promos.
Of course we did.
Officially declaring him for the Royal Rumble, so we will see him this Saturday, which I'm excited about. So the ruler is coming to Saudi Arabia.
He's coming.
No. All right, well, those are all of our segments for the week. We are going to close out our show with our botch and our pop of the week, our worst and our best of the week. For me, my botch of the week was and continues to be the Stephanie Raquel feud. That's just not doing it for me. There's not enough for me to be invested there. They just haven't done enough with them yet. Hopefully the street fight next week kind of fixes that, but I don't know. For me, that's just kind of what's not doing it for me right now.
Yeah, I think my botch is going to be that entire women's match.
Okay.
The six-man tag team match.
Yep.
It took all the wind out of the sails of what happened on Saturday.
Yep.
And yeah. And it looked like maybe Stephanie got hurt again. I don't know if that was
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a work or, but she looked actually hurt.
Well, they could be playing off the whole ankle thing because she was in a boot for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden she comes back last week not in a boot. So I don't know if she was really injured or if it was a work or whatever it was, but we'll see next week. That'll be right after Rumble too, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. My pop of the week is going to be Tozawa and Otis winning the number one contender spot for the tag team. I thought that was a thoroughly entertaining match and probably the best of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, as far as matches go, I agree with that. I think for me, my pop of the week was Finn making his presence known. We talked about him, the universe and everybody kind of getting behind Finn now that he's back. Let's have him move on from Judgment Day. Let's have him be solo. Let's let Finn make a run. I want to see it.
Yep.
So, all right. So that's gonna do it for our show tonight. I'm most excited for the Rumble. I want to see these storylines escalate. And I want to see what they do with everything. So,
yeah, exactly. It'll be good. I'm definitely ready for the Rumble to happen because I think they've been waiting for so much to happen. I think a lot's going to kind of explode out of what happens at the Rumble. So, let's get it on, baby. Let's Rumble. Cool. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys disagree with anything we said, just put it in the comments, and you're probably right. So, we'll probably also ignore them. That's probably going to happen. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again for watching.
See you guys.